Have you ever noticed? Certain individuals don't just dislike you, they actively work to undermine you. They avoid open confrontation, instead sowing seeds of doubt, waiting for the perfect moment to strike behind the scenes. They tirelessly plot your downfall. But here's the truth. The moment you stop falling into their traps, they lose their grip. These people don't just resent you, they burn with a quiet intensity, like a hidden ember ready to ignite. It starts subtly, like a faint wisp of smoke you barely notice. But by the time you see the flames, they've consumed everything in their path. Picture a vulture circling above, not attacking outright, but patiently waiting for your collapse. That's their strategy, not bold strikes, but calculated destruction. While they scheme, you have a choice: fall into their traps or rise above their plans. When you refuse their game, their frustration begins to surface. When you stop engaging in their schemes, their carefully laid plans unravel. How do you spot these individuals before they cause real harm? Stay calm, not paranoid, and trust yourself. Watch this video to the end, because the final insight will shift your perspective. Let's dive in. First, they spread lies to tarnish your reputation. Here's one of their most vicious tactics. They deliberately work to smear your name. These aren't casual rumors or harmless gossip. This is a calculated assault. They don't just resent you quietly, they want others to turn against you. They twist the truth, exaggerate your flaws, and paint a distorted picture of who you are. Their goal isn't just to harm your reputation, it's to isolate you, weaken your influence, and ensure others overlook your true value. They know that once doubt creeps into others' minds about your character, you'll face an uphill battle to regain trust. That's their aim, to leave you feeling powerless, alone, and constantly on the defensive. This is where Stoic wisdom shines. Epictetus said, "Character is destiny. Guard your character at all costs. No matter how many lies they spread, your true character will prevail if you remain steadfast and consistent." Let me share a story about a man I know. Call him Daniel. He was a respected leader at work, diligent, building strong relationships, and earning his position through integrity. But one day, a jealous colleague began spreading false stories about him, claiming Daniel's success came from favoritism, not competence. At first, Daniel wanted to fight back, to confront every lie and clear his name. Then he realized something critical. The best defense isn't confronting liars, but living as the person his supporters know him to be. Over time, the truth emerged. Those who mattered saw through the lies, and the colleague who tried to smear Daniel's name lost credibility. Lies are fleeting, but caractère endure. So, how do you handle those who spread falsehoods about you? First, stay composed. Emotional reactions only give them more material to twist. Second, let your actions speak louder than their words. Keep being yourself, and the truth will surface. Third, don't get dragged into their game. Protect yourself when necessary, but don't waste energy convincing those who've already chosen to misunderstand you. Ultimately, a reputation built over years can't be erased by a few false stories. Stay true to your character, and let their lies collapse under the weight of truth, because integrity always prevails. Second, they manipulate your emotions. Let's discuss one of their sneakiest tactics. They don't just dislike you, they aim to control and destabilize you by targeting your emotions. Unlike overt hostility, emotional manipulation is subtle, calculated, and designed to break you from within. They don't attack directly but use guilt, fear, and shame to erode your confidence and make you question your reality. At first, you might not recognize it as manipulation. They may feign concern, saying things like, "I'm just worried about you," or "You're not yourself lately," or they guilt trip you with, "After all I've done for you." This is how you act. Over time, these subtle games chip away at your self-worth, making you doubt yourself, your choices, and your emotions. Their goal is to make you seek their approval, depend on their validation, and slowly lose control. They don't want to support you, they want to dismantle you until you rely on them. The moment you start seeking their validation, they've already won. You're trapped in a cycle where they create insecurity, then act like they're the only ones who can fix it. This is where Stoic wisdom takes charge. Epictetus said, "Control your emotions, and you control your fate." The instant you stop letting them manipulate your feelings, you reclaim your power. Their words only hold sway if you allow them to. The more emotionally grounded you are, the less they can control your mind. Let me tell you about Ryan, a man I know who had a friend constantly toying with his emotions. Every time Ryan made a choice that didn't align with this friend's wishes, they'd guilt-trip him with lines like, "I guess I'm not important to you anymore." Or when Ryan focused on his own goals, they'd say, "You've changed. You're not the person I knew." At first, Ryan felt guilty, questioning if he was selfish. But then he saw the pattern. This friend only had issues when Ryan prioritized himself. So, how do you handle emotional manipulators? First, recognize the signs. If someone repeatedly makes you feel guilty, afraid, or ashamed for your choices, that's manipulation. Second, stop seeking their approval. You don't need their validation to live your life. Finally, master your emotions. The less you react, the less power they hold. Manipulation only works if you let others steer your emotions. The moment you take back control of your mind, their tactics collapse. Stay resilient, trust yourself, and never let anyone dictate your worth. If this resonates, hit the like button and subscribe for more insights. Third, they provoke you to ruin your image. Let's explore one of their most cunning and dangerous tactics. They don't just dislike you, they want to destroy your reputation. They deliberately provoke you to react emotionally, painting you as unstable or irrational. This isn't random, it's a carefully set trap. They want you to lose control, to lash out, because that's when they win. It starts subtly, passive-aggressive jabs, small provocations, or public humiliations. You try to ignore them, but they keep pushing, targeting your weaknesses, waiting for you to break. When you react, they strike, framing you as the aggressor. They step back, play innocent, and act like the victim. The truth is, this isn't about conflict, it's about control. They don't care about the argument, they want to shape how others perceive you, making you seem erratic, unreasonable, or even dangerous. The more you fight back, the more they control your image. Here, Stoic wisdom steps in. Marcus Aurelius said, "The best revenge is to not become like your enemy." The most powerful response to provocation is self-mastery. When someone tries to rile you up, the strongest move is to deny them the reaction they crave. Silence, composure, and refusing to engage are your greatest weapons. Let me share a story about Sarah, a woman I know, whose colleague constantly belittled her. He'd make rude remarks in meetings, dismiss her ideas, and even steal her credit. After weeks of enduring it, Sarah snapped. In a heated moment, she called him out in front of the team, her voice louder than usual. Instantly, her colleague played the victim, calmly saying, "Wow, Sarah, I don't know why you're so aggressive." The room went silent, forgetting his provocations and focusing on her outburst. But Sarah learned instead of reacting. She started observing. Each time he provoked her, she stayed calm. And you know what? He unraveled, unable to twist the narrative without her reaction. Over time, his true nature was exposed. So, how do you deal with provocateurs? First, spot the trap. If someone's pushing for a reaction, that's your cue to step back. Second, control your emotions. They can't manipulate your reputation if you stay composed. Finally, let your actions speak louder than their words. By refusing to stoop to their level, you render their schemes powerless. Your reputation isn't built in moments of anger, but through steadfast consistency. When someone tries to provoke you, remember, silence is stronger than their words, and self-mastery outshines their tactics. Stay calm, stay focused, and never let them write your story. Fourth, they pretend to be your friend to gather information. Let's dive into one of their most deceptive moves. They don't just dislike you, they scheme against you by posing as an ally to gain access to your thoughts. At first, they seem genuinely interested in your life, asking about your goals, struggles, and what matters most to you. They listen just enough to earn your trust. But the truth is, they're not collecting memories, they're gathering ammunition. Their aim isn't to support you, it's to weaponize your words against you. They might twist your statements, leak your vulnerabilities at the worst moment, or bide their time for the perfect strike. This is where Stoic wisdom shines. Epictetus said, "Don't reveal everything about yourself to everyone, for not all have good intentions. Not every smile is an ally. Not every listener cares. And not every question deserves an answer." Let me tell you about Rachel, a woman I know who had a colleague who seemed like her biggest supporter. He asked about her long-term career plans, her workplace frustrations, and even her personal life. Rachel thought he was just being friendly, but one day she overheard him relaying her words to their boss, twisted to make her look bad. He wasn't a friend, he was a spy. So, how do you handle people like this? First, be selective with your trust. Not everyone who listens truly cares. Second, test their intentions by sharing minor, unimportant details and watching their response. If they gossip or distort, you've got your answer. Finally, keep your true thoughts guarded. Not everyone deserves access to your mind. True allies don't need to pry into your secrets. If someone's overly curious about your life but shares nothing about theirs, that's a red flag. Protect your words, your plans, and above all, yourself. If this video resonates, hit the like button to help it reach more people, and subscribe for more valuable insights. Share your thoughts in the comments. I'll respond. Fifth, they try to isolate you from your supporters. Let's dive into one of the most dangerous tactics of those who don't just dislike you, they want to destroy you. They work to cut you off from those who stand by you. This isn't random, it's a calculated strategy. They don't just want to hurt you, they want to sever your ties with those who protect, uplift, or remind you of your worth. It starts subtly, with small comments to sow doubt. Like, "I don't know. Something seems off with them lately." Or they twist situations to make you seem untrustworthy or disloyal. They craft false narratives, whisper half-truths behind your back. And this tactic builds over time. You'll notice people pulling away, acting distant, or giving you skeptical looks. Their goal isn't just to damage your reputation, but to leave you with no one by your side. When you're alone, without support, you're easier to manipulate, weaken, or break. They know isolation makes you vulnerable. That's exactly what they want. Here, Stoic wisdom prevails. Seneca said, "Surround yourself only with those who make you better. Your strength lies in the company you keep. True allies see through schemes and stand by you. Those who don't will believe lies and drift away. Either way, you'll learn who's truly on your side." Let me share a story about Emily, a woman I know. She was climbing the career ladder. With strong colleague relationships and a tight-knit group of friends, but a toxic co-worker began spreading rumors about her. It started small. "Emily's been acting strange. Hasn't she, or I heard she's been talking behind your back?" Slowly, people grew distant, giving her cautious glances, and she couldn't figure out why. Instead of crumbling, Emily stayed grounded, refusing to beg for acceptance or chase explanations. She focused on those who truly knew her, and over time, the truth came to light. The manipulator's lies fell apart, and those who valued Emily returned. Genuine relationships can't be broken by rumors. So, how do you counter someone trying to isolate you? First, stay sharp and recognize when someone's working against you. They deploy one of their most insidious tactics, planting seeds of doubt to make you question your own abilities and worth. At first, it feels subtle, disguised as advice or constructive criticism, but you soon spot a pattern. Every step forward you take, they pull you back too. Their true aim isn't to help you grow, it's to erode your resolve, making you doubt your decisions and hesitate at every turn. They want you to second-guess your choices and stall before every decision. Because the moment you lose faith in yourself, they've gained control. Here, Stoic wisdom anchors you. Marcus Aurelius said, "If something external disturbs you, it's not the thing itself, but your judgment of it." Their words and negativity only have power if you let them. Your response, not their actions, defines your capability. Let me tell you about Jake, a man I know who started his own business. He was driven, excited, and ready to take risks. But a so-called friend kept saying things like, "Are you sure you're ready for this? Or most businesses fail." You know, at first, Jake brushed it off. But those words started creeping into his mind, making him question if he was good enough or if failure was inevitable. That doubt wasn't natural. It was planted. But Jake chose differently. Instead of letting it take root, he reminded himself that confidence isn't something others can steal unless you hand it over. He ignored the negativity, trusted his path, and pushed forward despite their attempts to undermine him. His business thrived, and that friend fell silent. So, how do you handle those who try to shatter your confidence? First, recognize the pattern. If someone's words make you doubt yourself more than they inspire, It's not support. It's sabotage. Second, trust your abilities. Your path and potential aren't defined by others' opinions. Finally, tune out the noise. Don't seek validation from those who don't want you to succeed. Your confidence is your strongest shield. Guard it fiercely. If you found this video valuable, leave a comment to say thanks and give it a like to support more content like this. Your support helps me create more insights. Sixth, they won't stop until they see you broken. Let's talk about the most extreme form of hostility, when someone doesn't just want you to struggle, they want you utterly defeated. This goes beyond petty jealousy or minor grudges. Their ultimate goal isn't just to dislike you, it's to obliterate you. They don't want you to succeed, to share their space, or to thrive. They want you crushed, irrelevant, or gone entirely. It starts with small competitions, belittling you, spreading rumors, or slowing your progress. But soon you see their actions are meticulously calculated. They revel in your setbacks, twist the truth, and work to exhaust you mentally. If they can't control you, they'll target your reputation. If they can't ruin your reputation, they'll try to wear you down until you quit. Their end game isn't just your loss, it's your surrender. They want you drained, defeated, and doubting yourself because your strength threatens them, and your resilience is their problem. This is where Stoic strength shines. Seneca said, "True strength is enduring hardship without losing virtue." Your power lies in standing firm. When someone is determined to break you, refuse to fall, and their efforts falter, they may spread lies, isolate you, or push you to your limits. But if you remain unshaken, they lose. Your resilience is your victory. Let me share a story about Daniel, a man I know, envied by a former colleague for his success. This colleague did everything: spread rumors, sabotaged opportunities, turned others against him. At times, Daniel felt like giving up, but he realized true strength isn't in fighting back, it's in persevering. He stayed focused, held his ground, and didn't let their actions define him. In the end, the colleague's credibility crumbled. So, how do you face someone who won't stop at anything? First, don't play their game. They thrive on your emotional reactions. Second, stay committed to your path. The more energy you give them, the stronger they become. Finally, persevere without surrender. Your strength is your statement. They only win if you fall. Don't give them that satisfaction. Stay resilient and watch them unravel. If this resonates, like and subscribe for more insights.